Al, as we speculated last week, they did a Nintendo Direct.
And it was on the day that we speculated.
Yeah, we got all the scoops for you clearly. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened this week, featuring a bunch of stuff and a whole lot of not about the new Nintendo console.
Nope.
They got out in front of it and said the Monday when they announced it, hey, we're not talking about that, so don't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, at least they said that ahead of time.
Yeah. So none of that, but a whole lot of video games that will be coming out in the next couple of months, and then some stuff coming out next year. So that's what we're going to talk about this week here on this episode of the Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc, Al, and Lady
Hello.
This is episode 391. And yeah, let's talk about a Nintendo Direct.
Let's do it.
So yeah, got up bright and early this morning. And then they're like, here's some video games for you, I guess.
I mean, I was technically already up, but because I have to get up bright and early for work and I hate it.
True. They kick things off with a new game. It is Mario and Luigi Brothership. A new game in the Mario and Luigi series. Apparently the first one in almost 10 years.
What a banger way to open this.
Yeah, this looked all right. I have not played a Mario and Luigi game, so like I'm not like super familiar with this franchise. Like I know it's like a JRPG series that like started on the GBA.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked nice. Like I liked what they were doing with it. Some of the combo attacks looked cool. The art style looks neat and everything. And that is going to be dropping on November 7th of this year.
So I'm a big fan
Mm-hmm.
of the Mario and Luigi series. Like they're a really fun turn-based series of games, I guess is the phrase I'm trying to say. Um but yeah, this one just looked like it had everything that I would want from a new Mario and Luigi. Um it has the new voice actor too. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Yeah, I did.
So that's pretty cool. Um But yeah, I like the art style. Um, I've heard some rumblings on who the developer might be, and so that's interesting. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, holy
What's
there's
the,
some credentials there.
what is your rumblings you have heard? Because they didn't announce obviously who was making this. It was just, hey, we're Nintendo, we're making it.
Monolith Soft.
Huh.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that would be surprising because they've done work on other stuff when they're not doing Xenoblade. So
right, right. Just that would be an interesting get for them to be making a game like this, which I mean, again, it makes sense. They worked on Zelda, so
true. Yeah.
why not? But um anyway, it looked really good. And I was like, okay, well, this is what we're starting out with. Like, damn. Okay,
All right, let's go.
let's go, Nintendo. Hit me. Not literally, please don't hit me, Nintendo. I didn't do anything wrong.
So yeah, that's our kicking off point. After that, we got to look at the Nintendo World Championships NES edition. This had been known. It's like there's
Mhm.
been pre-orders for it out. This comes out on July 18th. Basically, it's kind of based around the whole Nintendo World Championships thing that happened in the late 80s. And it's basically you're doing a bunch of like speed running challenges in a variety of NES games.
Mhm.
It's kind of similar, I guess you could relate it to the NES remix games they made for the Wii U and 3DS.
Right.
Which they're not obviously doing that kind of weird shenanigans that was in those games, but it's kind of a similar beast.
Mhm.
So yeah, that comes out on July 18th. Fairy Tail 2, based off of the anime Fairy Tail, is coming out this winter, being made by Koei Tecmo, of all people, which is interesting.
All right.
This is not the last time we will see the dude who made Fairy Tail in this direct, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Fairy Tail other than it exists. So, but like, hey, I am hopefully people who like Fairy
Anime
Tail are
video
excited about this.
games.
Man, we just put a lot of time into one of those anime video games,
True,
and
we
it turns
did.
out that I'm a big fan of Vegeta.
True.
So, you never know what happens with anime games, huh?
Kakarot, you dog.
Can a
Uh,
ghost do this? Ah! Just disappears.
oh man. After that, we got a game that you have played and is now has
Yes,
escaped from Apple Arcade
Apple.
jail.
It's free. I mean, not actually free. You can't actually. You probably will have to pay money for it, but it's
Yes.
free from its confines of Apple Arcade.
Yes, Fantasian Neo Dimension coming to the Switch and other consoles as well. This holiday, it is a port of the Fantasian game that was on Apple Arcade. This, of course, is notable because this is the game from Hironobu Sakaguchi.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Use dioramas.
it's got Uematsu as the composer as well, so like it is that pedigree. So if you're looking for another one of those games, like here it is. Now it's available to play not on your phone, which is nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it another shot because I played the first half and I loved it. I loved the first half. And then the second half that came out was like extremely difficult for no reason, but maybe it was just me suffering with trying to play it on my like Apple TV. I don't know.
And maybe just a thing of like, oh well, it's been forever since I played this.
Right, that might also be it, is that like I played the first half and then I got rusty or something. But I was like, why is this so difficult now? But I'm hoping that I can play it and beat it. Because I really liked the story. I really like the characters. The environments are beautiful. Um, Uematsu's basically said this is probably going to be his last full game that he composes.
Yeah,
So like there's also that, and the songs are beautiful. I mean, like of course they are, it's him, but like it's really, really well done. I still listen to this soundtrack.
and Sakaguchi's too busy playing Final Fantasy 14 now to make games. So
I mean, I just sent you that tweet.
of him and Yoshi P together, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, we're talking about Final Fantasy 14. It's like, oh my God.
Uh,
It's supposed to be a Fantasian tweet, by the way.
yeah. Oh, by the way,
It's
I
a,
guess this is coming out as well. Whatever. Anyways, you heard about Final Fantasy 14? It's got a new
you
expansion
know Final
coming out
Fantasy
soon.
14. But Fantasian, it's really good. And I'm glad that I get to play it not on Apple TV.
Yeah. I mean, this has a new subtitle to it, so but they didn't say if this has like new content or anything like that. So I don't know if it's just a new subtitle because it's a new port or anything like that. But also, I think the interesting thing about this is that Square Enix is publishing this,
Yep, I thought
which
that
is
was also
very
interesting
funny.
too. Yep, yep.
What a way for this to come full circle.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty heckin' wild.
Yeah.
It does say that it's gonna have English and Japanese voiceovers. It's gonna be 4K.
Hmm.
A new approachable difficulty mode.
Okay. Well, there you go.
With that. Hell yeah.
They
Okay.
heard you talking and were like, okay, well let's uh let's make Al happy here.
You know what? I am so happy because that was a little. I got a little tough at points, and I know I'm a little baby when it comes to tough stuff, but so yeah, that was announced on the Twitter that there will be a difficulty adjustment or
But it
a
doesn't
mode.
seem like there's like new story stuff. Just kind of like new features or quality of life stuff, and then like graphical updates. And it's on console.
Um, right. I was trying to see what Sakaguchi's statement on this was. Um, da, 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 da. Developed Fantasian thinking that it could become my final work before retiring, so it has a special place in my heart. Having the opportunity to rebuild it at Square Enix this way and making it widely known is truly a blessing. Interesting. This title is amalgamation. I can't say that word. You know what I mean.
Yes.
Of the souls of the diorama craftsmen, Uematsu compositions, and of course the game developers. If you'd like, please do give it a try.
So yeah, it just seems like for the most part, it seems like this is going to be a port,
Yeah, it seems like it's port.
or they'll just
Um,
announce more stuff later on because they have time to do that.
right. I mean, it's what, winter? Like
Holiday.
holiday.
So
Okay,
like
so
November, December, probably.
I'm so excited.
Yes. After that, Nintendo Switch Sports is getting an update. Did you know basketball is my favorite sport? I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
All I was thinking when I saw this whole thing, which yes, I do know that, is that if I were to play this with you, you could just constantly make jokes about me getting dunked on
Yeah.
because I would suck at it.
We should play some Switch Sports again at some point.
We should. It's a lot of
It
fun.
is. 'Cause we both have it. We just like it just we just haven't played it at all. But yeah, this is coming in an update this summer. The NBA season has just ended. The best team in the world, the Boston Celtics, won their 18th championship this week. So like it's great vibes in the basketball world right now for me
I'm so
personally.
happy for you.
And basketball's coming to Switch Sports, which it seems neat. Like you can do 2v2. There's a 3-point contest you can do. So yeah, it looks neat with what they're doing with it. Yeah, we should play Switch Sports again at some point
We should. Like I
for
said, I
sure.
had a lot of fun playing that.
Yeah, I remember when we were playing the beta, I threw my Joy-Con and it smashed into my framed poster of the Persona 3 third movie.
I do remember
And I
that.
was like, oh, I just hit off my door or something. That was weird. And I looked later, I was like, oh, that frame is that the plastic fake glass is definitely cracked there. Oops.
So
Oops.
funny.
Oops, magoops. Remember, wear your straps when you're
Wear your
playing.
straps when you're
You're
playing
playing
motion
games.
control
Yes.
things.
After that, Mio Memories in Orbit is a Metroidvania looking game. Got a nice art style and all that sort of stuff.
Very pretty.
Not a whole lot was shown about it. It's coming in 2025.
Xenoblade fans are just yelling, Mio!
Also, Silk Song fans are like, oh, why can't we get a game?
I felt so bad for all the Silk Song fans when this showed up. I was like, oh, this is probably gonna be like a twist of the knife for them.
Womp womp.
And then it didn't, Silk Song didn't show up, and I was like, oh, that's
It
even
just doesn't
worse.
exist. I believe it just doesn't exist anymore.
I'm also of that belief.
Disney Illusion Island is getting a new update with some new content that is out now. There's like mystery stuff or something.
Hmm.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which was originally also an Apple Arcade joint, is coming
Was it?
to the Switch and other consoles. As it will be a timed exclusive on Switch first, and then come to PlayStation and Xbox later. It is basically Hello Kitty Animal Crossing.
Ah, okay. Is there fishing?
I thought they showed like a little bit. Well, in this image, there is a dude fishing, but I don't know if it means there's fishing or not. But I would assume if it's one of these kinds of games, 90% chance there's probably fishing in it. But you would probably be able to
Mm,
find out more when it comes out. But I don't know when it comes out. It comes out sometime.
no, that's fair. I'm just keeping an eye on things,
Yeah,
you know.
you gotta keep your fishing logs up to
Hmm.
date, of course.
Exactly.
Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports coming out this fall. It is a Looney Tunes sports game where you can play 4 different sports mini games with like soccer and basketball, and then they have weird Looney Tunes wackiness with it. Like anvils are gonna fall on you. There was a weirdness about this that like the basketball part of it especially reminded me of the like Space Jam PlayStation 1 game, which is a game that came out like 30 years ago almost.
Oh
It's
my
just like the
God.
way like it's like the perspective and everything, and just like the way it looked like it played. It's really reminded me of that, which is very strange. But yeah, this is coming out this fall. It'll probably be whatever.
Yeah.
Among Us,
Umugus.
getting a free update. I guess it's already out.
This is how we knew about the direct coming today. Is
Uh,
that this leaked?
Nahone.
Hmm.
New crewmate and imposter roles coming to Among Us,
Umugus.
where you can be like invisible and plant trackers on people to keep track of them and all that sort of stuff. Farmasia is a new
You
game.
plant your
You
critters.
plant your critters and you grow critters, and then you fight with them. This is a new game coming out on November 1st. The art depth is very much the dude who made Fairy Tale, as mentioned earlier. He's
Ah,
back.
that's who it
Yeah,
is.
if
Okay.
you look at this art and then you look back up at the Fairy Tale art, it's like, oh yeah, this is the exact same.
Oh, okay.
That character design is very specific to that dude.
Okay. Okay. I see it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's like a farming simulator, but you grow monsters instead of just like plants and stuff, and then you fight with them.
Hmm.
Very very interesting idea, very Monster Rancher esque type of idea, you might
Hmm.
say. But yeah, that's coming out on November the 1st. Donkey Kong Country Returns High Definition. The Wii game and also stuff from the 3DS version of this game is coming next year on January the 16th to the Switch. So if you want
Can I just tell you something real quick?
yes.
Um, my brain is so like bleh and all over the place right now that when you said Wii game, my brain heard Weeb game, and I was like,
Yeah.
why is Donkey Kong Country
You
Weeb?
know, the
What is
weebs all
Weeb?
love Donkey Kong.
I was like, why is this a Weeb game?
They all love the very bad 3D animated Donkey Kong series.
I was thinking the one before that was way more Weeb than Donkey Kong.
No, this is the weeb game, obviously. Uh,
Anyway, sorry, it's the Wii game,
yes.
Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah, and then they're also going to put in levels from the 3DS port that they did of this as well. So you kind of get a whole package of Donkey Kong Country Returns here. And like I said, that comes out next year on January the 16th, which, like, yeah, sure. Put this
Yeah,
out.
why not? Why not?
They finally showed off some stuff about Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake. Got some gameplay of that and how it looked. It looks like an HD 2D game. Like how all of those look, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is nice because, like, the only other way you could play this game on a Switch right now is, like, the mobile port of it, which is not as good looking. But this will be coming out on November the 14th, so that's nice to see that, like, hey, we're committing a date to it and all of that. And then also they're like, oh, by the way, we're also going to remake 1 and 2 in HD 2D as well. So, like, you know, hey, look forward to that as well. It's like, oh, okay, sure. Those are going to come out next year in 2025. And they're like, they had Yuji Horii show up and he's like, hey, I got a slime. Isn't that really cool? By the way, we want you to play this trilogy of games in, I guess, technically chronological order. So we're just going to make all of them. Have fun, kids.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, super cool.
After that, we get Funko Fusion. Am I? This game looked bad.
I'm glad that I was texting you when this came up because the first thing I heard is Jaws, and I'm like, huh? But I was texting you, so I missed it, and it was fine.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of, like, different pieces of media that get to come together, and they're all Funko-ized and everything, and it looks whatever. This is coming out on September the 13th. You can play as stuff from various franchises, such as, like you said, Jaws, Jurassic World, Xena Warrior Princess, Masters of the Universe, The Thing, Scott Pilgrim, whatever this is. I don't know what that says. It's covered up by the Nintendo Direct logo. Invincible, Voltron, The Mummy, Shaun of the Dead, Knight Rider, Nope, the horror film? What? Battlestar Galactica, Chucky, Hot Fuzz, and more.
Was the Jaws scary?
I mean, you probably would not have liked it, but it was a shock. It was going.
No, I don't need that.
They showed a little bit of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which is still coming out in like a week.
Yeah,
on June the 27th. It is Luigi's Mansion 2. We've seen this quite a few times. You know what it is at this point. It's Luigi's Mansion.
Yes,
but not on a handheld.
Not on a hand. This is Dark Dawn, but without that title.
Yes. The new Dimpa Man or Men, excuse me.
Men.
What a weird trailer this was. They've like a cross between Tomodachi Life and then like Animal Crossing. Just a very weird, all over the place trailer. This is coming out July 27th on the Switch. So all you Tomodachi Life fans finally have something to hopefully fill that gap in your heart.
Yeah, the live chat. I like had my phone twisted in a way, and I saw the live chat during this that people were just like so mad that it wasn't Tomodachi Life. They're like, they're trolling us. And I was like, time to close live chat.
Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, which is a tower defense Metal Slug game, is out now. Apparently, this is just a reskinned gacha game on the Switch.
Wait, really?
That's apparently the word.
Oh, okay. I know nothing about it.
So there's that. Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming to the Switch on July the 15th.
I don't remember this trailer at all.
It's very spooky, gothic roguelite.
Nahone.
You know, your favorite. Nintendo Switch Online is getting games.
Update.
A Link to the Past and Four Swords Adventure for the GBA is out now. Out
I
now,
think it.
yes.
I think it's now.
Along with Metroid Zero Mission. Both of those will be hitting the GBA, as you have heard it. Then
Worth
also,
mentioning,
sorry, go
Four
ahead.
Swords also allows for online play for the
Yes.
first time.
And then, of course, we have a new part of the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack: Nintendo
Hmm.
64 Mature 17 Plus. If you're under 17, get the out of here.
Illegal.
We don't need your parents' permission
Hilarious.
because we'll come out and beat your ass. So yeah, I guess they needed a separate spot for M-rated games. It's very weird and bizarre, but it is Nintendo, so of course they would do something like this. But
Yeah.
your first two games for this are Turok 1, sure, and then
Sure.
Perfect Dark.
Which I mean, Perfect Dark makes total
Yeah.
sense.
I definitely was thinking when because obviously they've been doing a lot of stuff with rare games coming to the
Hmm.
Switch Online stuff that oh, this is the opportunity for them to put Conquer back out, and then they
Right.
didn't show it here, and I was like, oh, that's
Still no
okay.
Banjo-Tooie either.
What else? What other M-rated 64 games that are out there would people be wanting to play though? That they need a separate hopper for it.
I don't know, honestly.
It's such a weird thing. It's such a Nintendo thing,
It is a very Nintendo thing.
but it's such a weird thing. Let me see if
Yeah.
I can find a list. Here's a list of all M-rated N64 games. Thank you, Reddit. Oh, sorry. Reddit says no. You can't. You can't look at this because you don't have an app.
Send it to me. I got an app.
Let's see what GameFAQs has to say. Nothing. It's just hey, we're doing this. Here, I will send you this link. So I buy some time here, and you can fill us in.
Okay. There are 28 in total.
Well, there you go. You got ahead of me.
Um, let's see. So the ones that people would know really Conker's Bad Fur Day, Doom 64, Duke Nukem
Which Doom
64.
64 is already on the Switch.
Right. Duke Nukem Zero Hour, Hexen, uh, Mortal Kombat 4, which would not ever show up. Perfect Dark, Nightmare Creatures, Quake 2, Resident Evil 2, South Park, a few South Park games,
Yeah,
three
they're
South Park.
probably not going to do the South Park games. That's just a licensing nightmare.
Yep, Turok 1 to 3, Turok Rage Wars, and then War Gods.
So probably just the Turok games, Perfect Dark, Conquer,
Yeah,
and that's probably about it. Because like I said, Doom 64 is already on there. They're not going to put the Duke Nukem games on there. You can buy a version of Quake on the Switch, I think.
right.
So that would probably eliminate those. So yeah, a
Hmm.
very small handful of things you could really just put out here. It's a weird thing.
So this thread says that their guesses are um Conquer, Turok Rage Wars, Resident Evil 2, Duke Nukem Zero Hour. That's never gonna happen. I don't know why they said that. Hexen, Forsaken, Biofreaks. I don't even remember what that one is. War Gods, Mace, The Dark Age, and Nightmare Creatures.
I think putting
And
if they did put RE2 on there, that would be interesting. Because
it would
I
be
think this
interesting.
the 64 version of RE2 is a little bit different.
It is.
So that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I feel like
I'd
that's
be into
less
that.
likely, but I would think that would be cool.
Yeah.
And then the others are just kind of whatever.
Yeah, sure. Conquer though would be interesting.
Yeah,
And I think that people would actually really want that one.
yeah. I feel like this is the pathway for them to put that out there.
Yes. Also, please give me Banjo-Tooie. I'm
Sorry,
begging at
not
this
allowed.
point. Um, I've never played Four Swords because I didn't have friends.
Well, now you have a friend.
Yay. I did play, of course, Link to the Past because it was Link to the Past. So I had the cart. I just didn't have friends, so I couldn't play Four Swords.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, now you have a friend.
I do have a friend.
Two swords.
Yay.
So yeah, that's all out now. If you want to play some of them old video games.
Be an adult.
After that, we get Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero, a new Phantom Brave game from NIS, very Disgaea art style. It probably just is the same
Hmm.
people who make Disgaea making this.
Hmm.
This is coming out in 2025. So look forward to that. After that, it's time to take you for a ride.
Gonna take you for a ride.
The people have been
Yay.
asking, "Where's Marvel?" Well, here
Marvel.
it is.
Here it
The
is.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classic, 7 games, one collection, coming sometime this year. It's gonna have like the X-Men game, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, both Marvel vs.
Punisher.
Capcom games, and then the Punisher, which seems very out of place, but it sure is there. So yeah, MVC2 is back and available for you to play. Gonna have
Yep.
online play as well, so that's cool.
Yep.
Um, gonna have like museum mode, so you can look at like art and like concept art and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this was a very out of nowhere announcement, and it's pretty cool that these games are available again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Also that was funny because like the gameplay they showed the Punisher just had him like punching somebody in the butt.
Yeah, it was just like it's just a beat 'em up game.
Yeah, I mean he even just punches somebody in the butt and it was like, all right, cool. Like
Boo, boo, boo. That's the Punisher I
sometimes
know.
sometimes you just gotta punch people in the butt, I guess.
So that's coming out later this year. After that, it's time for a jamboree.
Jamboree! Time to lose all your
Super
friends.
Mario Party Jamboree. A new Mario Party game. A lot of people are like weirdly mad that this isn't just DLC for the last Mario Party game, and it's like, well, they're not going to do DLC that's 5 courses, a whole bunch of new mini games, and a new mode as DLC. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the madness, and I'm like, I mean, this feels like a whole new game. I
Yeah.
don't think this is DLC level.
So yeah, you get like 5 new courses, and then some old courses from Mario Party 1 and 2. There's one that's like a race course, which looked interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
There's like a mall or a shopping
yeah, yeah.
area.
So that there's a bunch of mini games. You get to do some mini games with motion controls if that's your thing, and then there's like an online mode where you compete against 20 other players, which
That's
I don't
wild.
understand what that's supposed to do, but all right, sure,
Chaos.
yeah. This is coming out October the 17th, so you can get your jamboree on.
Jamboree.
After that, we got a brand new game. Hey, did you like that Link's Awakening remake? Did you like that art style? What if we made another game in it? And we're both just like, all right, here it comes. Here's the
Here it
Oracle
comes.
remake. Yeah,
Blah.
whatever. Blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, wait, I don't remember this part from the Oracle games. I
Mm-mm.
don't remember a
Mm-mm.
chasm coming and swallowing Link whole. Zelda's just kind of on her own. Wait, are you playing as Zelda? Hang on. Well, hold on. Hold on.
Playable Zelda.
Yes, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. A brand new 2D Zelda game where you play as Zelda. Coming out September 26th. This looks really neat.
It looks so cool.
It's cool that they're using this art style again and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that they are using. So I guess to me the ethos of this game has a big Tears of the Kingdom vibe to it, where it's like,
It does.
or I guess that in Breath of the Wild, where they're basically kind of just like, hey, you have this wand that can basically make copies of like whatever you want, and you want to tackle a puzzle however you want, you can basically just do that. If you want to
Yeah.
like, you know, build.
Have enemies fight for you, you can copy them.
Mhm.
If you want to like hit them with a rock, you can copy a rock
I
and
want to
hit them
hit them
with a
with
rock.
tables.
Cool.
You can like use tables to like get up ridges and all that sort of stuff. And like there's like a specific scene where like there's like a dungeon or something and like there's wind blowing and like one of them Zelda uses like a table to get past it, and then the other one she's like plops a plant right in front of the air blowy thing and just like walks around it. It's like, well, there you go. It's like you can basically do these puzzles however you want essentially, and it's very much that same style that they used for like the last 3D games, where it's like, hey, we got all this open-ended stuff for you. Tackle these puzzles however you think fits for you, essentially, as a player. So that's really
Right.
cool. Obviously, hey, you get to play as Zelda, and that's really rad. They have not let
That's
you play
super
as
rad.
Zelda in a mainline Legend of Zelda game outside of those CDI games, which those don't count. But
They don't count.
I mean, finally, we get to learn about the Legend of Zelda.
It's true.
Finally. It's taken us almost 40 years, but I guess now we can finally learn.
But I mean, like even the logo is like reminiscent of like the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom logo.
Yeah.
And the cloak that Link rolls up with is the same like Hylian cloak that he's been wearing in those
Hmm.
games. And then she takes it, which is really cute, actually. Um, so then she's wearing it. So I feel like there's like some Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom love happening here. But my God, I'm just so excited because I was worried we were just gonna get like another Zelda remake.
Yeah.
And then seeing that like no, not only are we getting a brand new Zelda game, we're getting a brand new 2D like top-down Zelda game, and you get to play Zelda. Like, thank you, Nintendo.
They heard our Link Between Worlds podcast and were like, you know what? We should just make a new 2D Zelda game. They're
We
right.
should. We should. Like, this looks incredible. I watched the trailer probably like 5 or 6 times after the first time like I watched this stream. I was like, I have to keep watching this trailer. It's really good. Um, Also some interesting things to note are that like you have like the old style of Zora and the new style of Zora
Yeah.
in the same universe. I was like, huh, that's interesting because you have like the like Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds type Zora, and then you have like the Ocarina of Time type Zora.
So maybe like these
And
rifts are like causing time shenanigans or something. Like, and
hmm
this is obviously just inference, but like that could be a possibility of why. A lot of people have noted also that the map is very a Link to the Past esque. Not
hmm
necessarily a one-to-one recreation, but like things are kind of in the same spots.
Hell yeah, then I'll be good at this.
So that could be a possibility of like what the map looks like and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think that part's interesting. Um, no real like actual like, oh, here's Zelda doing combat outside of just like making enemies appear for her. And it also looked like, I guess from the trailer, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but it looked like the enemies have like timers on them, so you can't have them out like the entire time or something, or maybe it's just like if they take too much damage they'll disappear type deal or something. But like I remember seeing one of them where like she had like two dudes out and like one of them started like flickering, it looked like.
hmm
So that could be a thing. But yeah, this looks really cool. uh I'm very excited to see what this ends up being and everything.
Yeah, this was definitely my favorite announcement
Hmm.
of the whole thing.
Yeah, especially because it just came out of nowhere. It's like, oh,
It can't,
cool. Like I would have been fine if it was just like, oh, new 2D Zelda, great.
yeah.
I'm already down. And it was like, oh, you get to play as Zelda. Like, sweet, that's awesome.
That's what I'm saying. It's like new 2D Zelda, awesome. I'm already in. Amazing. Like, say no more, Mr. Nintendo.
Hmm.
Um, but then they're like, what if also you play as Zelda? I'm like, again, say no more, but like you
Take
could
my money.
take my money. I am entirely sold.
So yeah, that is cool. Nito Frito. Like I said,
Nito
that
Frito. Oh, geez.
coming out September 26th, so soon.
I'm so excited. I can't believe that like this didn't leak, especially with it coming out so soon.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this didn't leak. The Mario and I guess I don't know if they leaked or not because I don't really pay attention to that stuff a whole lot. But
Well,
like
I didn't see anything.
the Mario and Luigi game, I don't think did.
Mm-mm.
The last announcement, I don't think did.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, it's all that. They're also making a new Switch Lite for this game. But it just looks like a generic Zelda one. So
Yeah, it's whatever.
that's coming out the same day. After that, Just Dance 2025, because of course Just Dance is here. I was talking to you about this. I was like, wait, they didn't show this at
Why did
Ubisoft. What happened?
why
What? That's a tradition. Is you get a Ubisoft presentation and Just Dance is there, of course.
right? We just have dropped the ball here.
True. It's Just Dance. You know what this is. Coming out in October. You can dance
Get
to
some
Basket
Gaga.
Case by Green Day if you want.
You can
Sure.
dance to Basket Case.
They showed off gameplay of Lego Horizon Adventures after that, which was definitely more than what we saw at the Summer Game Fest,
A Kid
where
Wild.
yeah, it looks like a Lego game. It looks like basically one of those Telltale Lego games. Um, not Telltale. The whoever made the Lego games before, it looks like kind of like that style.
hmm
You're just Lego eyes. You're fighting Lego enemies and everything. Yeah, it looks fine. Coming out in the holidays. Just
It's so
also
wild to see like
PlayStation
Sony, yeah,
Publishing.
PlayStation Publishing.
It's like, all right, yeah, I guess that works. Uh,
Traveler's Tales.
yes, that is it. Them people. After that, Stray is coming to the Switch this holiday season. If you want to get
Kitty,
your
kitty,
cat
kitty.
cyberpunk adventure on.
Kitty, kitty,
Kitty, kitty,
kitty.
kitty, kitty.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Meow. Become an
Meow.
orange cat. Lose all your brain cells.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what I want in my life.
After that, Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, which is basically a life sim, Harvest Moon, Stardew, Animal Crossing type deal set in the Lord of the Rings universe. You get to be a hobbit,
Hobbits.
to hang out with all your other hobbit friends, create your own hobbit. Gandalf will show up and be like, hey, what's up, y'all? How's it
Hey,
going?
what up? Hey.
Fishing is
You
in
can
this, of
fish.
course, so add another one to the fishing tally. And
Yep.
this will be coming out this holiday. So yeah, that's neat. The Ace Attorney Investigations games are coming out. Both of them. The first one,
Both of them.
first one obviously had come out over here previously. The second one never did, and now it is coming out over here for the first time in English officially. So yeah, you'll be able to play both of these games. The Miles Edgeworth led spin-offs where it's more not necessarily the same visual novel-esque style as the previous, or I guess the mainline entry. You have characters on the screen and the map you can control and move around and all that sort of stuff. These are going to come out September 6th. I've already seen people upset that they've changed names from
They
the
changed
fan
names.
translation. It's like, well, yeah, of course they're going to do that. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw that too, but I'm so excited about this because I love the first one.
I played a little bit of
And
that first one, but I just never got into it.
you didn't vibe with it?
I don't know if I just didn't vibe with it or just I just didn't have time to play it or give it the time to play it. So I'm glad that these are out, but also it means, hey, there are no more Ace Attorney games for them to re-release and put out in a collection. So
They still haven't re-released the Professor Layton
they're not going to
crossover.
re-release that.
I'm just saying you can't say that they haven't released all of them again until that one is
They're not
freed.
going to re-release that one, unfortunately, I think. But yeah, outside of that, there are no more that they can put out as in a collection. So
Make a new one.
time to make a new one, guys. Come on.
Make a new one.
Yeah.
Make a new one.
So yeah, September 6th, that is coming out. So that's cool.
I'm so excited.
The 100 line Last Defense Academy coming in
Hey, this is
2025. The newest game from Tokyo Games. This is being directed by both Kadoka and Uchikoshi.
Sure is.
So that is a thing. I am tentatively excited about this because it looks like a strategy or a tower defense game. And I'm just like, I don't really like tower defense games. So
Yeah, I don't like tower defense either.
about that. But everything else is up my alley. So
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But
yeah.
yeah, tower defense is not my thing. And but yeah, it kind of looks like tower defense Danganronpa. It's a dang old grandpa.
it very much is just it's just that art style and the composers here again. It's the team who made all those games who made the mystery game. Why am I blanking on its name?
The mystery game.
The one that came out last year. That they made.
Oh, the Raincoat.
Raincoat, yes. So it looks obviously like that and everything, and then
Master Detective Archives.
Master
is the
Detective
actual
Archives
name of it.
Raincoat, yes, that game. And then Uchikoshi's here as well. That's the big difference. He's just
Yeah,
hanging
that's the big
out.
difference. He's just here.
Like, hey,
He's
what's
just
up?
chilling. Hey, I'm here too.
So yeah, that's coming
What's
out in
up?
2025. I thought this was going to be that free-to-play game that they announced a little bit ago, but this is not that. So, Romancing Saga 2 is getting a remake. Coming out October 24th. There are so many Saga games, and I've never played one of them, but they all look just bonkers.
Yeah, I've never played one either.
I just always see Korone playing them, and I'm just like, yeah, this looks bonkers. All right.
Yep.
And then there's a bajillion songs about them, or from those games in Theatrhythm as well, so.
True.
So yeah, that comes out October 24th. It is a remake of the second game, and you get to play the game in cool graphics and all that sort of stuff. That's all I could tell you. I've not played these games, so I couldn't tell you much about it. Then they had one last thing.
One last thing.
Hey, Metroid Prime 4 exists.
It's back.
It is back. The game first announced in 2017,
Wow.
and then nothing after that. Of course, the story of this game has been very up and down. They originally were
Tumultuous.
I think this was originally supposed to be made by CyberConnect 2, the people who make all the anime Bandai Namco games. And then that didn't happen. And then in 2019, they basically restarted the whole project with Retro Studios again. And now,
Mm-hmm.
hey, they showed off some gameplay of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. It's a Metroid Prime game. That's what it looks like.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
um, it did look a little rough graphically, but I would say it's obviously probably early footage. This is coming out 2025. No, nothing else. But I would also assume this is going to be a whatever the next Nintendo console is going to be launch title, and that is going to do the Breath of the Wild thing, the
Mm-hmm.
Twilight Princess thing of we'll
Mm-hmm.
put it on both consoles so you can play it.
I told you my theory on this. He didn't do the Switch Snap before this one.
Ah.
So I was like, He just like, take a look.
But this
Like,
being their one of the big games to put on that new system would make a lot of sense.
it would make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely would. It would get a lot of hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking him not doing the snap was significant.
But yeah, Metroid Prime 4 exists.
It exists.
We
It's
have seen
back.
gameplay of it. And yeah, it is coming out next year sometime. Yeah. I was kind of thinking, once they got to the end, what would their last final thing be? Would it be Metroid Prime 4? Is that the only real big the final thing that they could really do at this point? Because, they've already
hmm
shown off new Mario game, new Zelda game. Outside of that, they're not going to end on an F-Zero game or anything like that, or a Star Fox, probably.
Or a Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they already shown Donkey
Maybe
Kong.
a Donkey Kong. Oh, right. They already showed Donkey
So
Kong.
it was
So
I guess Metroid Prime's the only thing left that would make sense. And then it was yeah, here's Metroid Prime 4. And I was okay, sure, of course.
yeah.
So yeah, that is the Nintendo Direct. A lot of interesting things coming out of it. Definitely not a Direct you would say, be oh yeah, this is a console that's going to be, that's, almost done in a year.
Dead.
This is a
Yeah.
mid console cycle directory's oh heck yeah, look at all these games coming out.
It's wild, like the night and day from last week and this week.
Yeah, it does help.
Like
A lot of this stuff is coming out this year.
it does.
And there's only a couple things that are going to be next year, but yeah, there's a lot of good fun things in this direct, compared to some of the other things we saw last week.
But I think it also shows a difference in the Nintendo's ideas on game development and how they're approaching it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not going for ultra realism and all
Yeah, they
that.
don't
So
have to.
they don't have to. And so they're able to get more games out. But also it feels like they maybe have planned better
I think as
to
well, the
ha
big thing is
have
that
things spread out.
they learned from the Metroid Prime debacle of being let's announce a
Ah,
game, and
yeah.
then it takes 7 years for them to be able to show it. Now a lot of times it's hey, here's a new game we're making. Oh, by the way, it's out in a couple months.
Like Zelda.
Yeah, and like Mario and Luigi, Zelda, the Donkey Kong thing. That's a remake, but regardless,
Yeah, but still,
a lot of that stuff, a lot of stuff they've done recently, the
even Wonder,
Wonder
like
was
Mario
like that.
Wonder.
Paper Mario was like that. The Super Mario RPG one was like that. There's a handful of examples you could look at and be oh yeah, they just would just announce things basically within the last couple of years, and then be oh, by the way, it's out very soon.
Yeah.
And
I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's just that's a thing that they learned from, like I said,
This.
7 years ago, that basically announcing a title and then not talking about it does more harm than good.
Yeah.
And it's been a benefit for them to do it like this now.
What I was gonna say is Nintendo does a lot of things that I'm just like, Nintendo, why are you doing that?
Yes.
That is not a smart move. What are you doing, honey? Um, but in stuff like this, the way that they're announcing games and the way that they're handling game releases and all, that they're doing right. I would much rather somebody tell me, okay, here's a new Zelda game. It's coming out in 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
4 months, whatever it is, than wait 7 years. Or, the disappointment of what people are going through with Silk Song and Kingdom Hearts and all those games that they're just begging for releases. I would much rather have this situation. It makes me so much happier to be like, oh, it's coming out soon. Like I audibly, and it was actually literally embarrassing to me that I was like, oh no, I can't believe I did that. Um, I was getting off the train to go to work, and I was like walking to the shuttle while I was watching the trailer for the Zelda game, and I audibly gasped while I was watching the video because of the date, and I was like, that's so soon. I was like, everybody just walking around me that's going to work is gonna be like, what is wrong with her? Like, why is she saying this out loud? But I just got so excited because I'm like, that is incredible that I don't even really have to wait that long for this.
Yeah, it's really great.
I love that. Do more of that, game industry.
Yeah, I think I would definitely take that approach more so than just like we're announcing a game, but it's not coming out for another year or two type deal. I mean, they obviously did that in this with like Metroid Prime 4 and everything, but like that's a
Right.
different situation where they needed to basically say something about that at some point.
Yeah,
And there
they
was
had
a couple
to.
other games they announced for like 2025, but like they definitely didn't seem like, oh, you're gonna wait a long time for this type deal.
Right.
Whereas like some of the other stuff we saw in previous presentations last week, it was like, you know, this is probably a late 2025 game, and great that you're announcing it, but like, now you gotta wait a year and a half for that essentially type deal.
Right. Yeah, so I am a big fan of doing it this way.
Yeah.
I would love for more of that. But yeah, it felt so different from what we experienced last week. And um like if there's this whole thing of like, oh, video games are going through a slump right now, like video games are in bad shape. But like, are they? Because this seemed fine. It just seems like certain video games and certain video game companies are in a slump because they are not doing it right.
I think it helps as well that like there's just a ton of variety here.
That's true. Yeah, there's something for like most people here. Well, I'd say that, but like, I don't know, you're not gonna get like your Call of Duty fans here that are gonna be happy. They can go play Turok, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. They got Perfect Dark.
Yeah, Perfect Dark. You're fine. Those are the same thing, right?
Yeah. They are mature 17 plus adults.
Adult. I'm an adult.
But yeah, that was the Nintendo Direct for June of 2024.
June.
Uh,
I am happy.
yeah, yay, happy.
Yay, happy. I love being happy.
And that's gonna do it for us this week. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimeCheckup.com or sac.cool where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared Now Watch. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. You can follow Ann Ladium at AnnLadium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buy us a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast early, a wealth of bonus content as well, our monthly exclusive Patreon podcast that we do, all that fun stuff you can get by just signing up and supporting us. Yay.
Yay, thank you. We'd appreciate it.
Next week, we'll talk about something else. Otome, maybe?
I will probably,
Question mark?
as long as the move goes okay,
Yeah.
then we will probably have a Tome because I have a couple more routes to clean up on this guy and then one more route and I'll be done.
So not a whole lot left.
Yeah. So I say okay, a couple more routes on this guy and then like one whole dude, which
Right. But you don't
includes
have
all of his routes.
like 3 more people to go through or something like that.
No, no. So like I have a feeling that it will be what we can talk about on
Chances are
Tuesday.
dynamite.
So they can hear about D's and nuts.
Yep, they sure can. Oh boy. So yeah, look forward to that next week.